It's MK, and I am back with Off the Board. And on Saturdays, we decided to scrap lift someone. And today I will be scrap lifting a Heidi Swapp pocket card, but I'm not going to do a pocket page. So I basically have the exact same material as I used yesterday. I have the same alphas, but I added a bunch of little trinkets here and there. So I've got these wood veneers as well as my stars. Now I have a separate container for my wood veneer stars. I also picked out a little envelope just like she used, or Heidi Swapp used. And then because I'm going to be scrap lifting a pocket page, I went into my pocket card stash. I also pulled out, another little pocket card. I also pulled out some cameras because I didn't plan on using flowers or hearts on this. Now, I was going to use this little deer head until I remembered that one of my friends gave me this feather. So I want to try to get that. I also have these microscopic little paper clips. I went into my label bin and pulled out a few labels that I thought would go really well. And then this old school, is that cork? Yes, cork. I also have this backer card from Not Just for Boys. Some old, I think that's a Maggie Holmes. I can't remember. I cut it apart a while ago. And then my leftover feathers, as well as all of my leftover papers. I'm going to keep trying to use this wood grain, you guys. And then I want to take this polka dot piece and actually use it for my background, and I will be making an 8.5 by 11 page. Now, I'm still working on these hunting photos, and because of the fact that, it's, I don't know if it's a sensitive subject or not for some, but I just don't like to show, the gory parts. So I left all that off, and I won't actually be putting my photo on this layout, but I will be having a spot for my photo. And halfway through the video, I do end up actually changing my marbles on which photo I will be using. So because my polka dot paper is not 8.5 inches wide, I will be adding a bit of this. It's a sage cardstock from Close to My Heart. I love this soft green cardstock. So what I do is I just use my ruler and I tack down one side, flip it over, make sure that that's also at 8.5 by 11 before I officially tack down the whole bit. Okay. And then I'm going to take that cut apart backer card by Not Just for Boys and cut it all up and leave it there. There's only a few pieces I want to use from it, but I'm cutting it up, might as well cut it all up. Going through my pocket cards, and I have this one that's got some feathers on it, so I thought, hey, why not? I also have this one that has the word photo cut out of it. Now, it is kind of sort of hard to see, but in real life, it's not. I did realize that in the camera it wasn't, and I should have done a little close-up so you guys could see, but it really stands out. So I backed it with this wood grain. Yay, I used some. And I really like the fact that it's dark. The wood grain is dark up the top, and then it fades down to kind of sort of light. So I am going to cut my photo mat, and originally I was going to do a horizontal photo. I also have some vertical photos, so I thought let's try a vertical photo. But I'm trying to keep this pocket card exactly the same way that Heidi used up in the upper, is that left? Yes, up in the upper left. I'm trying to put all of my elements in the exact same spot. And instead of having a huge S in the center of my layout, I'm going to have my photo. But it's not working. So I'm going through my photos really quick to see if there's another photo that I can use. And I found another one that I absolutely adore. Well, I can't really say adore about a hunting photo, but it works better for this layout. And it's kind of like on its own type thing. And so it'll work better on the 8.5 by 11. Anyways, took another pocket card and cut out the word adventure instead of using a wood veneer. She used wood veneer that says smile. I'm going to use a pocket card that says adventure. And instead of that, what is it? Like outlined flower, I'm going to use this camera inside a circle. I think it represents the flower really well. And of course, I'm going to use some tiny word stickers. And on the envelope, she has a little star and a banner attached to it. So I thought, oh, that's perfect. I can use a tiny word sticker and some stars. Well, I forgot to go through my star box and pick out the stars that I like. And I was kind of sort of struggling because all my stars are, like bright and cheery, and they don't really match this soft muted tone that I have on these layouts. But I did find some craft stars that will work perfectly fine, and they're by Heidi Swapp. Ha! Anyways, I decided that I was going to use one of the banner pieces, that wood veneer, to outline one of my tiny words that I took from the Not Just for Boys little backer card. But now I'm trying to find a card that will hide the other side, because I don't like the banners that are fishtailed at both ends. I just don't, you guys. I'm weird. Going through my little more tiny words, because I think I need more. And now I'm just going to lay out everything. But if you guys didn't know before, I actually flipped the layout. So instead of having the is that a pocket card with a cutout in it? I'm not really sure how to describe that. But instead of having it in the upper left, I'm going to have it down on the bottom. I'm going to completely ignore the see-through card that is on the inspiration. Is it a layout? Would you consider that a layout? I would. Anyways, I'm having trouble today, you guys. So yeah, I completely flipped it. So instead of having the large title down at the bottom, I'm going to have it up at the top, and so on and so forth. So when I flipped it, my envelope ended up over on the right side, which actually worked out really a lot better for me, a lot better for my layout. And once I got all the elements on, it kind of took a life of its own, but I got the inspiration from this layout, Heidi's layout. Anyways, I feel awkward just saying her first name. I feel like I should say her whole name. Anyways, I am definitely distracted. So laying everything out, trying to make sure that it all fits. And like I said, I just go from here. So the feathers that I'm putting on the right or the left side of my photo are supposed to represent that see-through card that is in the inspiration layout. So just so that way I didn't, leave anything out. But as far as the feather behind my envelope, nothing is there because it's a pocket card. But I decided that I wanted to use it because I really like how it wraps around the card. I mean, it was like it was meant to be. Oh, yes. So now I'm just going to tack everything down. I laid everything out-ish. And then I decided, you know what? All of these elements, there's so many, teeny tiny little things that I wanted to make sure that I had everything laid down instead of just shifting all over my page. Yeah. So I'm just tacking everything. I already said that 6 times already. I did move all of my tiny word stickers around quite a bit. At first I had, the larger one up top because it just looked silly on the envelope. I had, real life on the envelope, and I thought, oh, I don't want it there. I knew exactly where I wanted my photos or my tiny words. It's just, they were just not the right length. And so it was kind of throwing me off. But then when I realized that these are where I want them, doesn't matter the length, I just went ahead and put them where I wanted them. I also have my husband talking to me through the window because we're getting ready for the 4th of July. And so if you see me pause a little bit, that is me talking to him. So plus I had to ask where in South Dakota this was. And it is called Athol, South Dakota, where they went and did a little geese hunt. Yes. And it gives me the perfect opportunity to use up all these feathers, you guys. Seriously, I had no idea what I was going to use these feathers on. All right, putting everything down, it is kind of getting a little bit flat for me. So I went ahead and took my tiny word and put it on some foam. Now, I don't know where my foam, my adhesive box is. I have a little container that keeps all my little foam squares, that fun foam stuff. But I don't know where it is right at the moment. I will find it. I went ahead and glued my feathers behind this really cool swirly camera. I'm not really sure where I got it. I think it's either P13 or Penelope D. You guys, it came with 3 cameras and then the word capture something moments. Capture these or something like that. Yes. So, but I really like the little messy circles around the cameras, in all honesty. Yep. So finishing up that cluster, and then I decided I was going to pop up the word adventure. Now, I don't fill in every little gap for this word because I do like how it kind of goes up and down, on the layout. So I don't know. I just liked how it looked. It looked like exactly how I put it down when I first cut it out. And you know how it kind of has that bend? That's what it looks like. And so I really liked that. So I went with it and just put the, the adhesive, here and there and everywhere. Yep. Going to lay down that word adventure. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish off my title really quickly. At least I thought I was. Oh, I decided to change out. See how I put that long, tiny word? I wanted it on the envelope because of what it says. But I thought it was too long. I thought it stuck over the envelope too much. So trying to figure it out. And of course, all of these acetate little pieces, I'm going to use this acetate little star, also by Heidi Swap. Oh my gosh. Cool. But it does have that little film on it, so I had to take that off. And now I'm just going to add little things here and there. I thought I was going to finish my title. Oh, here it is. I'm finally finishing my title. See, I'm rushing myself. Hurry up and get to it, please. I take the word south and decided that it was too flat as well. So I am going to take some foam adhesive and pop it up. Now, I do forget that I want to overlap it with the geotag. And so when I first lay it down, I instantly realize, oh, it's too long. I can't overlap it if it's completely covered. So I'm going to cut off one of the little notches real quick and make sure that I overlap the S. That way I can attach the S to the geotag and then it becomes part of my title. Yeah. So I don't have any stories to tell you guys without getting into little details. Like I said, if you guys aren't hunters, I get it. But I do enjoy, scrap lifting moments like these because one of these days we're not going to be able to do this. And so it's kind of cool to look back and see, especially how many geese they brought home. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. All the amount of, what they did. And I really wanted to document the fact that it was ice cold and windy and miserable weather. And at the very first day, he wasn't very impressed because they didn't get anything. And so it was kind of like everybody was down in the dumps. And so it was just one of those things, he didn't have high hopes. And then the next day it was amazing. And he was on cloud 9. And it was just great how it uplifted. And then the rest of the week went like that as well. All right. So I am, just like I said, filling in the gaps where I feel that they need to be. I put a few stars up in the title. That way it just looked like one full cluster going across the upper portion of my page instead of 2 different ones. I kind of like that. And then I also am feeling like this one cluster is kind of missing something. And I'm just trying to figure it all out. And when I do that kind of thing, I shift things around. It's kind of like giving it a different perspective. So when I get stuck at what I feel like I need, I start shifting my elements around, even though they're all the same. But when I shift them around, then that's when I kind of see things differently. And then, of course, I forgot about those cork pieces. So I went ahead and added a few of those on. And unfortunately, I wish there was a third one so I could put it down at the bottom. But where the photo card is, I actually really like it all by itself. And then the feathers going down from the envelope and touching it. So I'm okay with that. I went ahead and I glued that acetate star down. Now, when I glue something down like this and it is going to be seen like 100%, I put glue all the way around it. And then that way it's fully covered in glue and you don't see just one little glue spot. Okay, I'm putting the star on so it covers one side of that fishtail. And then I was checking to make sure that my dimensional was thick enough. I didn't know if I needed to put a second one on or not. So, and it wasn't. And then I want to make sure that there's no glue closing my envelope because I am going to put some hidden journaling in here. Because again, like I said, those that look through my albums, if there are any, it's my kids mostly. I do have some friends that come over and take a look at it. But if they are kind of sensitive, I want that journaling to be hidden. And then you're going to have to pull the layout out to actually read what is inside the pocket. And then I decided this little piece that I cut off of my polka dot, I really liked the chevron on the other side. So I'm going to scuff up the edges and then stick it behind my feather and my title onto the sage. But of course it's too big. I don't want to cover the sage completely, the sage cardstock. So I'm going to rip it just so that way I have less of some paper and tuck it underneath really quickly. And I do like that, you guys. I like that, just that tiny little bit of something different. Now, I know it's not on the inspiration page or anything like that, but, you know, I feel like I did take away from my inspiration page. So here is the photo that I actually am going to put in there. I just wanted to show you guys for visualization what it would look like with a photo on it, and that I left room underneath the envelope and everything. But now I'm picking out a pocket card to go in the envelope. And this one says, life is good. And then I have an overlay that says beyond measure. So I thought that that was pretty cool that they worked out really well. And it just fits in that little envelope perfectly. I don't have to trim it or anything. And it happens to be that the other side of that card is so muted that I can actually just do my journaling without having to add another piece of paper on. Awesome sauce. So here is the finished layout. I am so sorry that I was very boring today. No funny stories or anything really cool. But I did want to show a few like not so common scrapped items, right? I just wanted to show that. Now, after I'm done taking the photos and doing all the things, I will flip my photo around and glue it in place where it belongs. But this is it. Here it is. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along. If you click down below in the description box and you go ahead and hit that arrow, you'll see a whole list of names. Some people are playing all week. Some people are just playing when they can. And others are playing on specific days. All right. I will check y'all tomorrow. See ya.